Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another airbrushing step by step. I've been itching to do this piece of artwork. I absolutely love all the films, really cool, right from a kid when the first one came out, and that's what we're basing this one around today. So here's a look at some of the products and bits you will sort of need if you want to jump in on this step by step. So they're the bits we're using today. I've done a bit off camera, but like I did in the last step by step, I'll talk you through what I've done. I've projected the artwork up and we're doing it on sort of A3, but it's just a little bit slimmer than A3. I've took about 2 inches off the side of an A3 piece of paper because the artwork is very slim. When you look at it and blow it up, you need it sort of a bigger piece of paper to get it to come out bigger. So we've had to trim it down. Not a problem. I've projected up, put application tape on first, penciled over the bits we needed on the application tape, removed that, and I've chopped that out because we're going to do, like we did on the last one, we're going to do the background first. So we're going to mask off the face here and we're going to mask out the alien this side, and we're going to concentrate on this center section of the background. Once we've done the background, we'll put that mask in that we cut, we can put that back on, and then we can concentrate on both sections here. So paints, it's said FW inks, and they're the ones we're using. I've mixed up some colours. I will run you through the colours that I've mixed up. I've mixed up like a green colour for the background. I'm doing my isopropanol mix again, mixed with water, nice and thin. So we've got a green mix there. These aren't identical to the image. I've literally just mixed one up, wiped it on a bit of paper, sprayed it down, just held it up to the thing and thought, yep, that is good enough. So we've got the green colour for the background there. I've got a grey, a dark grey, a lighter grey, and I can move these tones up and down if I need to. I need to make a lighter mix. I can just decant a little bit out and just add a little bit more white and just mix around with them colours as we go along. It's not a problem. And I've got a flesh tone mixed up as well. Nice simple one. I've got a black on its own mixed up. So we've used the FWs. I've used a green. I'll leave links to the ones that I'm using. I'll try and find the identical colours because these have like little batch numbers on them, on these. That was the green. I used a Payne's grey in some of the mix. I think I used a bit of Payne's grey in with that green mix, along with a little bit of white as well. But I've got the colours here, so the ones that I've mixed up, I'll leave the links so you can get the links, and I'll also leave the link to the artwork in this as well. Brushes, custom Takuma on 018. We're running low pressure again, guys. We're running about 7 or 8 psi. Really like working at that low pressure. I'm also using Arden and Steenbeck as well, so we're going to jump between the 2 brushes on this as well. It won't be all with just the iWater, it's going to be with the H&S as well. I'll just get the feel, just jump between the 2, whatever I like. Test piece to the side, always have your test little piece of paper to the side, so you can just test your brush, test your air pressure, get your flow and your paint mixing right, test it on that piece, and then just move across, and you can just like work along. So we will move in on the first piece. Enjoy the video. Right guys, we are moving on to the background. Now I have put the application tape, cut it out, and as I said, we're going to shield off the face. And then we've got the alien head this side. Got the green mix in here. I'm just going to test it. Now I'm running a little bit higher pressure. This is around 22, 23 psi. And we're just going to start laying some paint in nice and light. Just a very light pass. So a classic film, if you've seen it, everyone's seen it. Brilliant film. And as I say, it still holds its weight today. I remember seeing it as a kid. I used to have a Alien toy, and I've not seen any of them since. Got it brought around the time the film was out, and it stood about 2 feet high. Really detailed model. And then you pressed the back of the head and the jaws opened up and the centre of the mouth came out. Had the proper tail that moved at the back. But it must have stood about 2 feet, and I've not seen one of them since. So that was very rare. I think that's still in my mum's loft at home. So just nice and light, and just build it up, sort of look at the reference. And just work around this. I've got like pencil outlines which I can erase out. We've got some like highlights here. If we go over these, which we're gonna, we can drop white in over the top of these, it's not a problem. Just to sharpen it off. Just puffing the paint in. We've got some black to go in on this as well. I'm going to drop some black into the green mix and really darken it up for the other bits. I've just noticed a couple of bits I didn't cut out just here. It doesn't matter. I can drop this tone in on them 2 little dots later on. It's not an issue. Right, what have we got here? Right, I'm going to drop a bit of black in the green. Just flicking the brush back and just putting some splatters on. Like that. It's a very blurry background, so you're sort of doing it at a bit of a distance. Just mix a little bit more in the brush. And these little highlights, I'll pop them in with some white when we've got the other bits in. I'll just drop these bits in, but I think that'll do for the background. So that's the background in. And now what we're going to do is, I'm just going to go in once this is dried down, and any little, I'll just let this dry down a bit, and we can just erase out any bits. But looking at that, it looks like what we're after on the image. Just sort of build it nice and light and just put the tones in, and you'll get the background in. So let's move on to the next bit. This is going to be a time lapse on this piece. I'll drop some text in the bottom on the paint mixes that I'm using. If I have to mix any, I'll just drop some in the bottom of the screen. If you can hear that dog barking, that's our new pup in the garden terrorising next door's dog. So yeah, see you in the next step. Right guys, little pause, little talk through. You've seen it in the time lapse and it's speeded up and you're thinking, oh, I really want to follow along. But if I talk you through this bit now on how I did it, when you watch the time lapse back again, you'll understand what I'm on about. So we started off on her face, nice and easy. We took the masking off and I've got the pen, you've got your pencil outlines to follow. So the first thing I mixed up was a very light pink. Well, it's a bright pink. 1 drop of red to about 20 drops of white FW ink, mixed it up, isopropanol and water so it's thin, and then did a very light pass. Didn't go for that full opacity because that would look way too pink on her face. So I just backed off, minimal trigger, and just put a very light dusting down round here and all the way over. All this piece here where you see her face is here, I just dusted in that one tone. Then dropped a drop of black into the pink, mixed it up, backed off again, and then did sort of circular, very light circular motions and just dusted this in and got an even tone all the way around. Held a shield up to give it that sharper edge. Just be really careful when you hold a shield up and you spray against it and come away from it, because you can create a you'll get a hard line, but you can get a mismatched spray pattern as you come away from it. So sort of just spray very lightly and just back away, and get it to look even off the shield as you come off the shield. Actually, you can get it very liney when you come off the shield. So did that. It went into the hairline, wasn't worried about spraying into the hairline with the pink because you're going over with a darker tone, so it doesn't matter, you're covering that pink up that gets overspray over here. You've just got to watch out when you come round here. So use your shields when you come round this collar bit round here, just to get the pink away from the top. Then I went in with the dark grey and then just sort of held the shield, very light pass there, and you're putting them shapes in. So you're just holding the shield up, very light pass to get the lines in, a little bit of freehand around the eye, and then went in on the hair and just work the hair strands in. Now I've done a few more sort of hair textures on this. It looks a little bit better than the cartoon version, well the comic book version, this side. There's just a few more textures and a few more little fades, just to give it my sort of tweak to it and add a little bit extra. And then to finish off, you've got your white highlights here. Now I just went in with one pass on the Posca paint pen and just sort of put them in place, because later on we're going to go in with an artist brush with some neat FW white and then go back over all these highlights and make the highlights really pop. So you can save your highlights till last, but if you've dusted over a bit of overspray, just literally go in with the Posca paint pen and just put them in place so you can keep them there. So if you get any overspray that goes over, just drop the Posca paint pen in and you can just pop your highlights just so you know where they are when you come to it later on, when you want to sharpen things up, and that's what we're going to do later. So we've got that bit in. We're now going to move on to the next piece. See you in a minute. There you go, we got it down in the end. I hope you've picked up some little bits along the way. I did say at the start I was going to put the internal piece on to shield the background off, but I didn't need to. I just sort of worked it with that down and just worked round. Now when I worked the alien, I'd done a first mix of like a light grey. I did a couple of drops of green in it, so it was like a little tint of the green, and then went in and just worked it in that, just sort of like went all the way around it in that, and then went in with the black and sort of outlined it again. Then I went back in with like the grey and just dusted all the way over and just darkened bits off, and then relined it and went back in round with all like a jet black. And then you've seen at the last bit I was going in with the artist brush and I was just doing the white highlights, just popping all the white highlights, and I've added extra on this, some more little like sort of little details in all these little creases and things on the actual alien. Went round the bits on her face just to pop them out a bit, and we got it down. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay till the end, because after this bit there's a little snippet that just finishes the film theme off. If you are new to the channel, guys, and you're liking this content, click that subscribe, press that notification. Last thing to do, clean the brush out, and drop your comments. I'd like your feedback on it. Tell me if you like the films, absolutely love them, and I will see you lot in the next one. Thanks again for watching. Cheers.